Welcome back, everybody. Live call-in show at 727-8750. I'm here with candidate for sheriff, Sharon Wehrly. And we do have a caller on the line, and that is Leah. Can you hear me, Leah?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, first, Ms. Wehrly, I want to commend you for going on Channel 46 because the station's owner, Vern Van Winkle, has made no bones about his bias in the sheriff's race. And I have a real problem with that because a media outlet should be, absolutely fair and unbiased in their coverage of political races. So that being said, what I would like to know is on your first day as sheriff, what will the message be that you will give to your deputies about the changes you want to make within the Nye County Sheriff's Office?
Well, the first thing I'm going to tell them is I appreciate their support because they did endorse me. The second thing I'm going to tell them that this is going to be a team effort, that the door is open both ways. The third thing I'm going to explain to them is my management strategy and what I expect of them. And then the fourth thing I'm going to go through is ask them what they expect of me.
Well, that's four things.
That's it.
So, I don't believe Leah's on there anymore. So we got to hear this Nye County Law Enforcement Association endorsement. And you say that's the union or something like that?
Yes, that's the
okay.
That's the union for the Nye County deputies.
And can you tell me any others that may have endorsed you since you started this campaign?
Yes. Galen Morgan, who was the endorsed candidate for the Republican Party after the primary, he did endorse me. Our philosophies are quite similar. Bill Beck, who was also running for office, endorsed me. And he was a captain for the Nye County Sheriff's Office, retired. Mark Zane, who was an undersheriff, and I did work for him when he was undersheriff. I volunteered there. So he knows me very well. And he was also a candidate. And after the primary, he endorsed me. And Tom O'Donnell, who was a deputy, also he was a candidate. He's endorsed me verbally. Let's see, terrible memory here. Mike Sullivan, who was a sergeant, former sergeant for the Nye County Sheriff's Office, of good grief, 10 years ago or so. He sent me an endorsement letter. Sergeant T. Huggins endorsed me. And a lieutenant, former lieutenant, Tony Phillips endorsed me.
Well, it sounds like you got quite a bit of an endorsement, especially from within the sheriffs and past sheriffs and everything.
Well, that's because I've worked with these people.
They know you.
They know me. They know I'll do a good job. They know I understand what's going on in law enforcement. And they don't have any problem with my background.
All right. Well, we have another caller on the line, and that is Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, my question is for Sharon Wehrly. When you become sheriff, or if you are elected sheriff, I want to know what you would do to restore the youth in this community and the sheriff's department. Back during the primaries, I've seen things on Facebook where kids were actually spitting in their hands before they were forced to shake Rick Marshall's hand. If you're going to be sheriff, how will you restore that in the community?
Restore.
Well, he's talking about restoring, I guess, confidence with the younger generation within Nye County. Something.
Well, I'm going to keep both the GREAT and the DARE programs. I think those are wonderful programs, and I will become more active in those programs. Not only that, when you have school children that they really need role models. And I believe the sheriff's office can be that role model for them. They don't need to fear the Nye County Sheriff's deputies. They need to look up to them, and we're going to have a program so we can actually interface with the schools, not just school police, so that the children are familiar with police officers and children are comfortable around the police officers. I think it'll also help with adults.
Well, you know, I think that's great because I think the children should not actually respect. What they should look for is that the officers are their friends.
That's right.
Not like, let's get out of here, here comes the cops.
Right. If
You know?
if a child has a problem, the child should be going to a police officer. That should be a safe haven, just like mom and dad.
Right.
And that's what we want to have.
Yeah, so you're going to have to reach out to the children because sometimes they hear so many things or they watch too much TV or video games or whatever. Anyway, we do have another caller, and this is Fran. Go ahead, Fran.
Hi, Bill. I'm Sharon. Anybody that knows Sharon knows she's been a very upstanding, wonderful person, raised 2 fine sons, and if she don't know a question that you ask in the law, she will find it out for you before she tells you. And I appreciate her running for sheriff. Good luck, and we know we love you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Yeah, I was always, you know, as teenagers and that, and I know the sheriff is awfully busy, so they don't have time. I mean, there's so many, you got to play politics, you got to run a sheriff's department, and you got all these other things you got to go out and meet and that too.
Well,
but as far as the kids, like, would you be up to going to Great Basin College and actually walk around and talk to the students?
Absolutely.
On their break or between
Absolutely.
classes? Or go to the high school and go around and shake the kids' hands and say, hi, I'm the county sheriff,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You know, I think,
You know,
I
people
think that would
need
be
to
great.
be able to talk to their sheriff.
Right, well,
And it's not just in a forum setting. I plan on being out where people can see me, talk to me. I want people to let me know how they feel about law enforcement here in Nye County.
well, and
you
if
know.
they can meet the top dog, which would be the sheriff,
That's right.
and if the sheriff came into Great Basin College or came into the high school and actually introduced themselves to them, they would feel, I got to meet the sheriff. Now, the deputy, yes, the deputy got me for smoking underage over by the tree when I was off the school grounds. I mean, but, you know, but they get to know. And I know that the sheriffs do have a lot. I mean, it's going to be a 24/7 job.
It is.
For whoever wins.
It's going to
it.
be a 24/7 job.
And I know it's going to sit there and say, do I really want to go down to that school at 9 o'clock in the morning when I should be having breakfast from 9 to 9:30, the only day out of the week? You know,
No,
but
that's not going to be a problem because those are the kinds of things a sheriff needs to do.
Well, I got a teenage
That's part of
granddaughter.
community policing.
I got a teenage granddaughter who lives with me most of the time, and she asked me why. All these people go to the senior center and talk to the seniors, but nobody ever comes by the school. And I said, well, that's because the seniors will go out and vote, and you guys ain't old enough yet. So, you know, I think that's where maybe need to bring it a little, because I tell you what, those kids know a hell of a lot more than we know. If you need information, they're the ones
I'll
to
tell you
go
what,
to.
they're much better at anything technological than I am.
Yeah.
Really.
Anyway, we do have another caller, and that is Terry. Go ahead, Terry. Are you there?
Hello, Terry.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi. I was going to ask, you're in the law enforcement, you don't make the laws, and I know that there are probably some of the laws that are made in Nye County that might be a little difficult to enforce. I was just wondering, what law do you think it'll be the hardest for you to enforce?
What law do you believe would be toughest to enforce, do you believe?
The toughest to enforce? I think some of the county ordinances would be tough to enforce, actually. And that's because just of manpower and not being, not seeing people who are actually violating those laws. The town ordinances. Now answer me a question here, because the town is going away, right?
The town board is.
The town board is.
Yes.
Does that mean that the town ordinances are also going to be going away, and the county ordinances would be the only ones that would apply?
Well, you know, when you talk about town ordinances, I guess that would have to be left up to probably Mr. Coonsey and whoever, if anybody is representing the town at the time as a town attorney. Because I really, things are so non-black and white here, because when I leave my house and I go up Homestead, as soon as I turn off of my street onto Homestead and I drive up past Kellogg and then past the Lakeside and all the way up to 160, there's not one speed limit sign. So if I get arrested for going over 45 miles an hour or get a ticket, is that legal? Now, what I understood from the county sheriffs is that it was up to the town to post those speed limit signs, and they got to be so many feet apart, or such a distance apart.
It is on county roads. That's the road department's job.
Yeah, but there's not one.
On the state roads, it's the state's job.
See, I could turn out because
the DOT.
When I heard that at a meeting one time, I thought, well, you know, going down Homestead towards Lakeside, you got signs periodically that say 45 mile an hour. Coming up Homestead from, let's say, all the way down to the chicken ranch and back, up to 160, there's no speed limit sign at all. And so, I mean, to me, that would be a very difficult one to enforce, wouldn't it?
It would be. It would be.
You know.
I think really what we need to do is sit down with the. We need to sit down with them and figure out just exactly where these signs are supposed to be, and make sure that if our officers give a ticket, that it's a good one.
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, because nobody's
that's
really been able to
logic.
answer, but I just think if there's no, you know, because I came to Nevada years ago when the speed limit was PNR.
Yeah, I know. I did too.
If you didn't get in an accident, you were driving proper. If you got in an accident, you weren't.
Yep.
So anyway, we need to go to a break. We'll be right back after this break.
Okay.